Hello there, friends. It's April San Pedro, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're gonna make an art journal instead of the usual creative journal that I've been sharing in this channel. If you enjoy videos like this, I have a few more in the playlist, and don't forget to subscribe so you'd be notified whenever I have new ones. If you're new to art journaling, it's pretty much the same as your usual journaling, except that you focus more on art rather than writing down your thoughts or emotion. This is also a means of just merely playing with anything at all. So you can do collage using scrap papers, book covers, or magazine pages, whatever you can think of, a tissue. If you don't have acrylic paints, you can use markers, watercolors. You can even use crayons, or you don't even need to use paints or colors. You can just use a simple ball pen or a pencil, maybe. Anything at all that you can find or you think that you would just love to express. It is more of like expressing your emotions through your art. Now, you don't even have to be an artist, or probably you think you don't even know how to draw. This is not about that. This is more about playing with anything and expressing your emotions by creating some. Whenever my emotions take control of me, this is how I divert it. So I just grab my art journal. This one is a Strathmore mixed media journal. You can find any journal if you want to. Just make sure it has thick paper, or it can handle, or you can just lessen your paints or water if you want to use that. Then I turn on the music and light a candle, and since I can't do this for a long time, I just time myself 30 minutes tops. And that quick moment that I had with myself helped me keep sane and somehow release whatever emotions that I'm feeling at that moment. Now, what I also love adding in my art journal are words that help me feel inspired or encouraged through either Bible verses, inspiring quotes, a lyric from a song maybe, or a quote that I heard from someone else or from a book that I've. By adding those words, it helps me and reminds me that whatever it is that I'm going through at this moment, it will be okay. Now, it's been a while since I last did an art journal spread, and that only means that my emotions are taking control of me once again. Now, for the past few days, a lot of things are running in my head, and it's somehow taking control of me, that I'm having a hard time sleep, or if not, it's really making me anxious. So for the past few weeks, I've been feeling confused and lost when it comes to my career path. Things are quite different nowadays compared to pre-COVID. Maybe because I'm at a different stage of my life compared before, and priorities have changed, and our life for almost 2 years now has also changed. I've been dealing with this thought since last year, but I guess this time it just hit me hard. Or perhaps it's been really calling me, or maybe I just have so many questions in my head, or things aren't getting the way I wanted them to be. And so that's why I'm having these questions in my head if I'm still doing, or if I'm still at the right path. Anyway, since I'm still trying to figure out the answers to all the questions that I have, or perhaps the results that I'm wishing that would happen, I'm giving myself up until this year to figure out whatever it is that I need to figure out, or if there will be some changes that will happen, and I'll probably take it as a sign or an answer. Alright, enough about my drama, if I may say. I always feel personal whenever I have art journaling videos. Maybe because I just feel that the reason why I'm sharing my creative process when it comes to art journaling, it's because I also want you to, if you're feeling the same way, maybe not in the same situation, but your emotions are also getting control of you. I want you to feel inspired or perhaps encouraged and turn those emotions into something else. Now, if you're not comfortable talking to a friend, a family, a close family member that you want to share your problems maybe, or your concerns, or your, now there are still so many ways that you can do to feel better. Now, one thing I do is I pray a lot. I talk to God, and that's one thing that I think is more helpful than anything. After that, I grab my art journal, play some Christian music or any music that just makes me feel calm, or feel even just for a while, or just forget about all those things that in my head, and I submerge myself and just concentrate on this art journal that I'm doing. And if you're having the same emotions that aren't making you happy, or you're overthinking, maybe just like me, I would really encourage you to try art journaling and just play with it and just pour all your emotions. Okay, so let me talk about this art journal spread that I'm doing. If you noticed a while ago, I actually covered the flower that was already painted on the left page. Now, I painted that flower a few months ago. It was supposedly a practice for a painting for something else, and I've thought of doing it in my art journal, since I can just cover it up, or if not, I can just make something out of it. Now, when I opened it, I realized I'm not really happy about the flower that I did back before, and so I just thought, that's okay. We can, the beauty about art journaling is you can make mistakes and just cover it up, or perhaps add another layer just to make it different, and you actually know when it feels right that you just cover it up, or perhaps this time it's more. So I just used a scrap paper, I had a craft paper lying down on my desk. I also found an onion skin, so I just covered it up. Supposedly, the first plan was just to make it lighter because I wasn't really happy about the colors of those flowers. But then later on, I just realized, even seeing a silhouette of it doesn't really feels right. So I just have to cover it with paint. I'm using acrylic paint here, and I just mix. I had 3 colors, and then I also had white, and if you noticed, I added color blue supposedly to match the flower, but then I realized I'm not really feeling the color blue. So what I did, I just added color yellow, and it turned out green, but then I still felt that the green wasn't really, making it. And then boom, it felt right, and I like it way much better than my initial plan. Now, I don't normally have a plan on what to do with my spread, but what I normally do before getting into it is I prepare a quote, anything from Bible verse, a lyric, or just like I've said a while ago. And then I look for an inspiration, whether from Pinterest or Instagram. Just search for art journaling. Or you can also use some of my art journals that I have from my previous videos. I also blog about those if you want to see more photos. And after that, I try to choose what materials I'll be using. So let's say I'll find acrylic painting first, just like in this case, then I'm just gonna stick with that. And from then on, I just feel the music, feel my emotions, and just play with it. So let me tell you about this quote that I'm writing in my journal. Meaning can reveal itself in the most unremarkable, unpredictable, and quiet of moments. If we're not listening to the world around us, as well as the one within, we may miss it. The Music in the Mundane. This one is from the book The Bullet Journaling by Ryder Caroll. It's just funny because whenever I feel anxious or whenever I'm feeling something, the universe is telling me something through a book, a song maybe, or a friend. And it's just so. And so when I read this part in the book, I just knew that whatever it is that I'm going through right now, the meaning or perhaps the answer that I'm looking for will actually reveal itself in its own time. I just have to listen and be probably mindful about it, and so I would actually know what the answer would be. And that's about the quote. And to go back to the spread, I added a black brush pen to give a contrast from all the colors that I put in as the background. Now, if you want to try the art journaling, or if you've been doing this for quite some time now, after you're done, try looking at it. Now, you'll see that the colors that you're using will actually base from the emotions that you're feeling. Also, try not to overthink. The important thing here is you just release that emotion and you just have fun. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again on my next one. Bye!